Welcome to I Drink Your Podcast.
Oh gosh, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You leave me no choice. Here comes the smolder.
Wait, you like that?
No.
You don't like that?
No, I don't like that.
No, how about that? You like that?
A little better.
Bread makes you fat?
Does this count as annoying?
Just tell me what you want me to fuck!
Not you, and not you.
Okay, I think it's time to take off your clothes and jump me.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
I drink your podcast. I drink it up!
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of I Drink Your Podcast. With me today is Emily.
Hello, everyone.
And we got Dylan here with us today as well.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Really good.
Super great.
Awesome.
I mean, it's kind of too late for me on a Tuesday evening, but you know, whatever. Fuck me then, I guess.
Yes, fuck all of us.
Dylan, thank you for making us stay up super late on a Tuesday. We love you so much.
It's 9 o'clock. It's not that late.
It's also not Dylan's fault that we moved it to this night.
That is accurate.
I thought you were the young one of this podcast there, Emily. Ben and I should be the ones complaining about.
Yeah, but I go to school at like 6:30.
I wake up at 5 a.m. every day and get to work at 6.
You know, it would be something that our listeners could do that would really make us feel good about spending our nights, late nights, school nights, doing this podcast, is if they gave us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Good Pods or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Yeah, it would be really nice.
It would.
It'd be really nice, especially because we're still not showing up on Spotify.
Still hunting for that Spotify. We'll get there someday.
Someday. That's okay. Well, Ben, you must have something fancy for this incredible movie, right?
So no, I actually kind of phoned it in tonight, if I'm being honest.
Oh, wow.
I'm drinking just whiskey, because whiskey makes me tell secrets. So we'll see what comes out of my mouth tonight.
Secrets.
I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot tonight. Secrets. Dylan.
I'm just having beer. We got my Kona Big Wave.
Kona's an Argentinian beer, isn't it?
It could be. I was going to call it Cerveza. I'm drinking
The answer
Cerveza.
is you use beer bottles as binoculars for your eyes. Secret eyes.
Secrets.
Emily, what do you got?
I'm way more on brand than both of you. Turns out in Argentina, drinks are very bitter. That's like the thing that you do. So I'm having a Campari con Campari con coca, which is just Coke and Campari, which is not pleasant if you don't like bitter things.
Wait, it's Coke or Coca? Is it a chocolate drink or a Coke drink?
No, coca, like as in Campari con coca, as in Spanish. So it's Coke.
Coca is Spanish for Coke?
Yeah.
What did we watch this week?
We watched Secret in Their Eyes.
Secrets.
Which you can definitely watch on HBO Max. And I really think that everyone should get on that, like right now.
Dylan, did you have a hard time navigating HBO Max's subtitles as well?
Oh, yes, I did. I ended up having to watch this off my laptop because I kept switching back and forth between the Spanish version and the English version, and for some reason, every time I selected the English subtitles, nothing would show up. But surprisingly, if I put on the Spanish subtitles, totally cool.
That helps.
Yep, I had that issue too.
HBO Max, get on your shit.
Yeah, I don't know why your default is in Spanish with Spanish subtitles for me. Can I change that in my preferences, please?
I searched through my preferences on my Apple TV and through HBO Max, and I think I even looked at other foreign films that they have on HBO Max, seeing if that weird Spanish-English option was there, and I couldn't find it on, I didn't look at everything, but I looked at a good amount, and I couldn't find it. That was so weird. That was the only movie I saw that had that.
I got it to work eventually, but it was very frustrating, and I almost didn't watch the movie. But
wow,
I did.
You guys. Moving on. I'm so happy you figured it out.
This week we watched Secret in Their Eyes, which is an Argentinian film that's currently at 89% on Rotten Tomatoes and won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film.
Oh, really? That's super cool.
This was the one that won this year.
Cool beans.
It's directed by Juan Jose Campanella, who is the director of the 2001 film Son of the Bride, which also was nominated for Best Foreign Language Oscar. He also directed episodes of many American TV shows like Strangers with Candy, Law & Order, Criminal Intent, and SVU, 30 Rock, and House.
I gotta go back. Strangers with Candy. What a name. I'm very intrigued.
You should check it out. It's like an irreverent comedy. It's got Amy Sedaris and Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
It was that show was pretty damned amazing.
Is Campanella from Argentina?
Yes.
Okay. And he also edited this and did some writing on it and a couple other things. Like he was like an all-encompassing director and everything.
You find that a lot of these foreign films are done like that with the auteur status where they're kind of handling a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Starring in this movie is Ricardo Darin. He played the main character, Benjamin Esposito. He was also in Son of the Bride, and even though he has not really made the jump to American films, this will not be the last film that we cover of his on this podcast. That's a little teaser for the future. We will see this guy again, and I'm glad we will, because I thought he was very good in this movie.
Which year?
2014.
Ooh.
And the other person we're going to call out is Soledad Villamill. She is almost exclusively in Argentinian films, including starring alongside her co-star in this movie in another film directed by this same director called The Same Love, The Same Rain, which is a love story that occurs during a time of great political upheaval in Argentina. So this guy's got a type of movie, I guess.
He's going to stick with that genre.
That's right. Hammer it home. Emily, you had not seen this movie.
I had not. And I really went straight forward on this one, actually.
Good.
Yeah, as you should, because I was told it was in Spanish and I was told the title. So my prediction was that this movie better be something with lovers and politicians to be called The Secret of Their Eyes, because it's an incredibly predictable romance novel title. So I was 100% picturing a buff Latin man half naked holding on to his dear love, like the beginning of this romance novel cover, while battling evil politicians in a period piece with his wit. That's exactly what I was thinking. And of course, the big secret was her betrayal. Which was obviously in her eyes the whole time. He just didn't see it. Like I said, super straightforward.
That to me sounds like a really sexy Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Ooh. Kind of like a Debbie Does Dallas meets Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, like Mr. Smith Does Washington.
I was picturing Agent Smith.
No, we're not. We're not talking Hugo Weaving, no.
Really? Yeah.
That's exactly what I was picturing. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
This was not that movie, Emily, not what we got there.
I'm really glad it wasn't, because I didn't want to see that.
What did we get instead, Dylan?
Here's what's on the DVD cover for The Secrets in Their Eyes.
Secrets.
Recently retired criminal court investigator Benjamin decides to write a novel based on a 25-year-old unresolved rape and murder case which still haunts him. Sharing his plans with Irene, the beautiful judge and former colleague that he has been secretly in love with for years, Benjamin's initial involvement with the case is shown through flashbacks as he sets out to identify the murderer. Benjamin's search for the truth will put him at the center of a judicial nightmare as the mystery of the heinous crime continues to unfold in the present, testing the limits of a man seeking justice and personal fulfillment at last. That makes it sound like really action-y. Or maybe how I read it.
I think the synopsis has the appropriate amount of action within it that we got in the movie.
I would agree with that. Dylan,
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that you read it like that. It sounded really professionally done. Way to go.
Because Matt would have been like, rape and murder. Oh, no.
Exactly. Exactly.
What did you guys think of this movie? Let's just jump right in.
I really enjoyed this movie, and most foreign films I usually walk into with a lot of trepidation just because of the possibility of reading. I'm not the fastest reader on the face of the earth, and I always sometimes find myself missing a couple of words here and there, but usually getting the gist of the story. But yeah, this movie was fantastic. I thought the story was very easy enough to follow, but had some nice complexity to it. I thought the characters were all very well fleshed out and well written. And yeah, this was all around a pretty dang good movie.
I was not won over initially. It felt very much like a retread of movies I had seen before. Just, in a foreign language, it reminded me a lot of detective movies from the 1970s. Like it had the look of like a Serpico or a movie like that, and it just felt like a copycat to me. And it wasn't until probably around the 40-minute point when Esposito comes to the train station and sees Morales, the husband of the woman who was raped and murdered, and they have that conversation. And that's where the movie started to get to me. It's like, okay, this is not just some generic cop story told through flashbacks and flash forwards. It's got a little bit more to say. And from there, I was hooked. And we'll talk about the scene that won me over and made this one of my favorite movies that we've seen.
Okay.
Well, we're 3 for 3 because I also loved it. And Ben already knew that because I was sending him pictures of my face going, oh my God, what the fuck? But I was not prepared for this movie to have a very graphic rape and murder scene right off the bat, especially because things were, a little lighthearted in the beginning in terms of, I think I was feeling what you were feeling, Ben, where it was something I had seen before and it seemed kind of cliche. And then suddenly it's like, bam, naked dead woman, very, very dead, very, very raped. This is not great. But I texted Corbin and I said, whoa, did not expect this to happen right away. And he was like, what? And he took a look at the movie and saw that it was Argentinian. And he immediately came upstairs from the basement and was like, let me give you a history in Argentina in the 70s because, oh God, you are in for a ride. Do you guys know all about the history?
Do you remember any of that?
Oh, yeah.
Please share, because I kind of was interested with some of that side story that was in there.
Oh, yeah. So like in the 70s, you had Isabel Perón, who was the president of Argentina. And there was like a lot of other stuff too with her husband being exiled from Argentina and then being able to come back. And there were tons of revolutions that were happening with the left and the right fighting and killing each other. And when Isabel Perón became the president, she really allowed the government, which included like her civil servant people and the military, to kidnap and execute and murder people, specifically the left. Although the left was also committed to killing and murdering all of the people in the right. And so everyone was committing atrocities, everyone was killing everyone, but Perón kind of encouraged it to the point where when she fell out of power, her supporters were essentially tortured, starved, and interrogated by the military. And really, that's thanks to the United States. Way to teach Latin America and South America all about the military tactics and torture we've learned over the years, and basically teach a bunch of people that were quote unquote aligned to our ideals to fight communism and fascism. And that's how a lot of the cartels and gangs started. Yay.
America.
So
Fuck
you said
yeah.
Isabel Perón, and I had to look it up because I know Eva Perón from the musical Evita.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was
They were married to the same person. Yeah.
Yes, they were.
So presidency was passed through marriage in Argentina?
No.
Because she became president after he was president, her husband?
True, but it's not because that she was married to him. She became vice president first while she was married to him for some reason. That might have been an appointedness, but then he was old. He was like 35 years older than her, and he died from like a bunch of heart attacks in a row. And she's like, okay, I'm president now.
Interesting.
First female president. Yeah. Just really a fucked up world. So when you mentioned Dylan and Ben or whoever said the directors got a type and the Argentinian actors have a type, well, there's kind of a reason for that. This is a huge part of their history, similar to how we have a lot of the war movies. And if you think about Cold War and World War II and military sort of movies.
Or even how 9/11 plays in the background of like American movies. Like it's a turning point for the nation. And what's interesting is that this movie has an American remake of it that does set it post 9/11.
Stop.
No, I'm being serious. It's
that
got
does not translate well, does it?
No, it does not at all, and that's why the remake was panned horribly.
It was a bad remake with Julia Roberts, Nicole Kidman, and Chiwetel Ejiofor, I do believe. Because I remember when I first started watching this, Ben said, if you see Nicole Kidman, you're watching the wrong one.
Oh, no, really?
Because I think both of them are streaming, not on HBO Max, but they're streaming in other places. So
I want to jump back to the rape scene because I wonder if it's necessary in this movie to have it visually depicted. Do you feel like it needed to be seen?
Yes. I think it really did to have the weight of what this man went through, you know, her husband, and also just Esposito's dedication to try and solve the case. I think a lot of times the United States and American media hides a lot of that sort of violence against women. And I think that this blatantly showed what we were getting into. But if that wasn't there, I don't think it would have the heaviness and the weight to build to what it was. It was still fucking shocking, and I was not prepared for it at all, but I definitely think it needed to be seen.
I agree with you there, Emily, because it wasn't necessarily the rape scene that really got to me. It was the after they found her body and how they managed to almost in every shot in that apartment, you basically can see her laying there and it's just, and they do a lot of cameras, single shots on the dead body just laying there, and they really hold on it too. So it's just kind of like, I felt kind of uncomfortable after a while where I'm like, okay, we get it. We don't need to see a full minute of a naked woman with blood.
But maybe you do.
Oh, I know.
Not like you, but like society needs to understand the awfulness, because there is so much out there of sexual assault that we just kind of pushed out of our mind, and having something so graphic and something so, I guess, uncomfortable to people. Yes, I should have probably had some sort of trigger warning, because I was not ready for that. But I think seeing not only parts of the rape, but also, and just how it was thrown in there. We were kind of joking, chuckling in the beginning, and then suddenly, bam, it's here from Esposito's memories, but not really memories because he wasn't there for that. Kind of his fabrication. I don't know, like his imagination. I guess
his envisioning, his
retelling,
imagining of the story.
And so I think that juxtaposed to seeing him in the past with this crime scene added a lot more depth to it.
I was just curious because sometimes scenes like that are used for sensationalization purposes, not necessarily to benefit the characters that we're seeing or to pull the through line of the narrative It's instead just to kind of like to shock you. And I don't think it was used like that in this, but there's part of me that's like, I think we could have just done with the aftermath of the rape and murder and not had to actually go into the imagination of the guy, since he wasn't there to actually know that that's what happened. So we're not really, it's not like we're getting the actual event. It's the recreation of the event.
I understand. I also think, though, that with Esposito, this is the one case, like this is what we're feeling and seeing from his character the whole time. This is the one case that has driven him to the point of writing a book about it. And it sits with him in a way that he can't get out. And so not quite reliving, but fantasizing in a bad way of almost like he's torturing himself of what's happening. I think that was absolutely necessary to understand him as a character.
I was going to say with Ben, one movie that came to my mind when you're talking about sensationalism is the, I think it's Gaspar Noé's movie Irreversible that had Monica Bellucci was in it. And I think it has like like you see the whole rape occur in the movie and it's like 5 to 7 minutes long. And I've heard in the beginning when that movie first came out, a lot of people were like, oh my God, it's, it's revolutionary. It's this, it's this. And then I think over time, people have just come to the idea and the thing of going, nope, that was just purely exploitive just because the movie was not that, I've never seen it, but I think a lot of people are like, the movie's really not that great unless you have that one scene in there. That's like the only thing that really pushes the movie through.
Versus this movie, yes, the scene I think is impactful, but the rest of the movie together stays strong throughout. And I think that comes to your point, Ben.
Let's jump into the good, bad, and weird of this movie. And before we do that, who won this movie for you?
I think for me, it was really the dialogue. And I think that part of it came down to the professional yet implied relationship between Esposito and Hastings. I think that not just their dialogue and how their lines just resonated in a way that was very human, but also there were other lines, especially from Morales at the train station and just later in the movie with him dealing with his wife's death and trying to get through it. It was very much like a real person. There was one scene in the train station that he was talking about how the memory of his wife getting him tea and trying to remember if it was lemon or honey. And he said, and I don't know if it's a memory or a memory of a memory I'm left with. And that just haunted me. That just sat with me in a way that I don't know, it blew me away. And then at the same time, the dialogue had some really nice touches of humor that balanced out well with the heartbreak of the film. And, you had the whole scene where Esposito is running out of the house of the killer's mom's house and the dog bites him and his partner Pablo is like, oh, you're going to get rabies. And, it's just like such a throwaway line, but it works because their partnership is developed. And I just think the writing with how the dialogue worked and the storytelling meshed incredibly well.
Yeah, I agree. I really thought the dialogue was well written. I thought the movie was well paced to the point where it kept building to big scenes. I especially like the scene where Hastings is going after the suspected murderer and kind of egging him on, Gomez, trying to get him to confess. And you can see the way she's like toying with his emotions by like degrading him and making him like feel like less than a man who isn't even capable of committing this type of crime. I thought that was really well done and a really well acted scene as well.
And even how Esposito was reacting to her initially, like, what is happening? Oh, I understand. I'm playing along very quickly, but it was so subtle where they were still kind of playing the part with the killer in front of them.
Dylan, how about your winner?
For me, the winner was the cinematography. And in one particular scene is where I was won over. The football scene, I thought was so well shot, and I thought the chase scene looked so amazing too.
That
even
was
though
my
it's a-
favorite scene too.
It was a very simple chase scene, really simple, but somehow they made it look so frantic and fast moving and fast. It just played really well, and just also the vastness of that stadium. And I just love the scene where the two of them are talking, and he's just like, I'm paraphrasing, where he's like, there is no fucking way we're gonna find this one guy in
he's over there.
this. And they kind of go out, and it's just like, holy shit. That's a lot of Argentinians.
My winner was a cinematographer too, and it was because of that scene, and it's because that one scene is done in one continuous shot. And I want you, if you didn't notice that, to go back and watch it, because it's pretty remarkable the way that the camera flies in from above the stadium, zeroes in on our characters, and then leads into a chase scene throughout the arena that ends up back on the field. Like, it's just an amazing scene, and you're right, Dylan, it's got that frenetic feel to it because of the energy of the crowd going on around you, and then also the shaky cam look of the chase. It's incredible. It's one of the coolest shots I've ever seen in a movie. It took 3 months of pre-production, 3 days of filming, and 9 months of post to just do that 5-minute sequence.
Holy shit, that's so cool. Fuck you, Atonement.
Atonement's good too.
What I really did like about that scene also that was really kind of nice and not kind of broke the formula of these kind of detective mystery type stories is that they go, there he is, and they go through the crowd and they grab a guy and they turn him around and they're like, fuck, that's not him.
Yeah.
You know, like, because it just seems like such a stereotypical cliche thing where somehow they find him, like the first guy that they grab just happens to be the guy. And this time, yeah, granted, it was the second guy that they found, but it was still nice to see that they were looking at people and grabbing people and just keep trying for what seemed like a while. And then they finally went, holy shit, there he is.
And the incompetence of the other cops that are standing around going, wait, who is he? Is he tall, short? What does he look like? We gave you a picture. And they're continuing the chase scene, trying to figure things out. And the other cops are still standing around doing nothing.
We haven't talked about the ending yet.
Which part of the ending?
Specifically, I'm talking about the stuff where it's revealed that Morales has been holding Gomez hostage for basically 25 years.
Man, that was powerful shit.
Yeah.
I loved it.
There was a series of moments as things were revealed. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm really stupid when it comes to understanding how movies progress, especially when they're like thrillers and mysteries. But the first time I was freaking out is just, they just kept piling on. I can't even remember the first time I freaked out, what scene it was, when I realized that they found what's-his-face. They found Gomez in the crowd. Like, that was the first time of like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. Oh my God, this chase scene's happening. And then later when they catch him and he finally confesses and just building and building. And then, holy shit, he's on TV. He was released. Oh my God. All of the conniving corruption within the government. And then later when Pablo dies and it just continues to build and Morales suddenly just disappears. And when he's having this conversation, I'm getting to this point of, did Morales somehow kill his wife? I'm just so lost right now. I was seriously trying to figure out what Esposito was thinking. And then we get to this end where he comes back and he's remembering some of the words that Pablo was talking to him about men's passions and how originally Morales could not kill someone. It didn't make sense. And how Morales was so focused on this for life concept that would be miserable for him. And being dead was just taking a nap. And just seeing the despair in Gomez's face was so validating for me.
The line, "Please tell him to at least talk to me," like that one cut me deep. That was a haunting line.
What a punch to the stomach.
Right.
I like that this kind of almost felt like it had like 3 possible endings. And I think that's what Benjamin was kind of maybe figuring out for himself as he was thinking it out, that maybe he did kill his wife. Because I think they did have a scene with the husband like hitting her, didn't they? In like his little thoughts or in his imagination, like the day
I
she was
think
murdered, that the
so.
husband
I
may
think
have
there was
done
a
it.
glimpse of that.
Like he kept kind of going, and then he's like, oh, no, that can't be it. And just kind of, and I kind of had it not figured out, but I was just like, okay, yeah, the guy found him and he killed him. That's what I thought the whole time. I was like, okay, he did it. But then once he kind of thought about it more, I was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I saw that the cage and all that, I was just like, oh my God, that's wow, that's powerful. That was it was very Usual Suspects. How he was kind of putting it all together, and except he was using dialogue he previously heard instead of staring at a wall. But
Emily, even after they spelled it out to us in the movie, like you just now saying that the passion piece of like, you had Sandoval talking about like a person doesn't give up their passion when talking about Gomez going to the soccer games.
mm-hmm.
But then you think about like Morales' passion for his wife and how he's going to the train station every day, and he's not just going to give that up for nothing. So it's all very telegraphed what the ending is going to be, yet it's still very surprising.
And I love it.
It had that, that feeling of, okay, somewhere, someplace, this whole speech about passion is either A, it's just gonna, it'll lead them to the killer, or it's gonna come back around somehow. Like it had that feeling, but at first I thought, it's just how they're gonna catch the guy. That they're going like, his passion is football, so let's look there and see if we can find him, and they did. And but to have him remember Pablo saying that again and then figuring it out in his head was very smartly edited into the whole him figuring it out. I thought the editing of that scene of him figuring it out and everything, and then the final reveal was so good. Again, very frantic, like how your brain kind of moves frantically. It kind of had that editing to it, which was really nice, which was really, really nice.
There's just so much that I liked about this movie, even beyond just the ending, the acting and chemistry between all the characters. And as we were talking about, the dialogue, but also the story fleshes out the characters in a way that I don't see in a lot of movies, where you really get this incredible detailed depth of their motivations and their desires. And I fucking loved it. It was incredible.
I would say another thing that I really liked about the movie too was the 2 leads. I thought had such fantastic chemistry between each other. Like just those scenes where they're not even talking, and that nonverbal communication of like their eyes, how they're looking at each other,
Eyes.
And everything. It's just so
secrets.
Like you could really read that like there's passion there. There's a love and a passion that's in both of them that we can see it within them, but they can't express it. Like I thought their nonverbal acting was really good.
I do really quick want to call out the score in this because I think that there were such beautiful moments and timing with the emotional peaks throughout the film. And as the ending was settling in my emotional state, the music just kept me there longer, and I thought it matched such a beautiful film with a beautiful score.
You guys ready to jump into bad? This is the second movie we've had Dylan on for in a row that starts with a scene that you don't really know what's happening. It's because there's no context for it. You don't know the characters. Again, I did not like starting with them in the train station.
What was the movie that we watched with Dylan?
Never Let Me Go.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like the starting in the train station, and the way that scene was shot. It had this very like choppy look to it. It just didn't feel like it was pulling me into a world. It just, I don't know. It didn't sit well with me. I didn't like it.
It felt very short filmy, even though I haven't seen a lot of short films.
Not even, it felt very art school, very film school type thing. Like, oh, look what we can do with my Mac, with
Lots of
Final Cut,
experimentation.
man. Look at what I can do with this.
I really didn't mind it per se. I think it's a little bit more weird for me, but the part that I really didn't like was the opening on someone's eyes, which turns out to be Hastings. But man, I had to pause it a minute in and laugh because eyes.
Secrets.
Just full out belly laughter. From that point on, everything was great. But that was like the one bad where I went, okay, we're being a little literal here. Let's not do that in the beginning.
My only bad was I thought sometimes, not all the time, mainly when they were zoomed in pretty hard on their faces, some of the old age makeup didn't look great. You know, you could tell it was obviously like a liquid latex that they stretch the skin out. You stretch it out and then you lay the latex and then let it go when it dries and it creates like the wrinkle look. I thought some of the people had that look with the makeup. That was probably my only thing that I kind of, twinged about, but I actually looked up what Pablo really looks like. And his makeup I thought was like the worst, but then when I saw what he really looked like, I was like, wow, all that was really bad on him was just the bad toupee or the bad dye job they did to his to gray his hair. Because he looked very different from what he looks like in real life. He looked very different, but yeah, that hair of his, I was just like, did they just like get that Halloween spray paint, the hairspray and spray that on there and went, good enough.
I'm going to channel my inner Wesley on this one too. This movie was boring as shit when it came to colors. Like, it was all very muted. I know it's trying to like recreate the look of those 70s movies, but like the 70s had the same amount of colors as we see with our natural eyes. I don't know why we have to make the 70s look all grainy and muted. It should just be it should be vibrant. I don't get it.
It's the tone of Argentina.
That might have been what they were
just
going
pull that
for,
out of your ass.
I see where Emily's going with this, where it is kind of that idea that it was a very drab, dull, not a happy. It wasn't a happy time in Argentina.
True, but I wouldn't say drab or dull. It was definitely exciting.
Well, no, I'll rephrase with the idea of not drab or dull, but going with it was just not the happiest of times. So color-wise, it wasn't going to be the happiest
not the worst of times.
Color. It wasn't going to be the happiest color palette.
Come on, anyone?
I got you. Yeah. Okay, weird.
I don't know how I felt about the romantic ending. It was fine, but I also wouldn't have minded it if it just had ended with them never getting together. I think it was very cute with the whole te amo because of the missing key of the typewriter. But I don't know, I guess I didn't need it, but I also didn't hate it. So it's kind of in the weird middle place.
Yeah, I don't think it overstayed its welcome at the end. Like the ending.
True.
The love story wrapping up was very quick, which I appreciated, and it didn't overstay. But yeah, I can see that. I did not like Sandoval's angel pickup line, or that Esposito thought it was smooth. I didn't like that. So
glad you brought that up. Yes, I thought it was funny.
Part of me was wondering if he was fucking with him with the, man, how do you get all these smooth lines, man?
No,
that's just it though. Like that line wasn't smooth. Like
maybe it was translation.
That could be.
That very well could be. Yeah. I can see that.
It was an angel in the morning just walked in the door, and she's in mourning or something.
An angel in mourning, yeah.
It could be a play on words that we don't understand.
Yeah.
That could be, yeah.
I don't think it is.
Okay, Dylan, did you have a weird?
I really didn't at all have a weird. Can I give one more thing that I really liked? like a scene that I really liked in the movie that was
Yeah,
kind
do
of
it.
weird and tense.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird that you're bringing that up now. So it fits
Yep, there
perfectly.
you go. The elevator scene. When they're in the elevator
Oh
going
my
down
God.
and Gomez gets in
With
and
the
he's
gun?
just sitting there and then he takes his, and then you're just like, oh, okay, he's just intimidating them by just going down the elevator with, oh, no. We're going to go over that. We're going to have him take out his gun, cock it, and then put it back. I was thinking, oh, shit. I was half expecting him to like put her against the wall and like put the gun to her head or some weird thing, but that would have been too far. Something like that. But that scene was pretty damn tense.
Well, let's put a cork in this thing and give our final thoughts on The Secret in Their Eyes. And we're going to start with Dylan.
I thought, like I said, I think it's a fantastic movie for everybody to take their shot for Dylan's mom moment.
Okay.
My mom usually does not like foreign films, but this is one I really am going to push her to try to watch because she loves like thriller murder mysteries. So, hey, all you moms, watch the movie. It's pretty good. I really liked it though. I really enjoyed it. I can see myself watching it again.
4.5 moms out of 5 for Dylan.
What happened to the half a mom?
You don't want to know.
Don't insert an abortion joke here, please.
Never. I never.
I didn't.
Yeah, come on.
I
I
saw
just said you
Ben's
don't want to
look.
know.
No. There was no look. Emily, give us your final thoughts.
Definitely in my top movies of this year. I've really enjoyed how it had this gradual build in a way that still surprised me throughout. And the dialogue kept it moving, kept the characters fresh and interesting. I think Hastings was probably my favorite female character of the year so far. She was fucking dope. And I highly recommend anyone, really anyone, to watch this. Even anyone that's like not huge into foreign films. I've always loved foreign films, but this is just excellent.
We've been pretty lucky in the foreign films that we've done this year. We've had 4.
So good.
We've gone 4 for 4, in my opinion, of all foreign movies that I've actually enjoyed. And between Mother, A Prophet, Dogtooth, and this one, like we've seen kind of the best of what multiple countries have had to offer this session of movies that we've done. Highly recommend this one, even if you're watching the movie just to see that 5-minute scene of the soccer game. It's breathtaking. It's worth watching just for that segment, but also you're going to get a great story wrapped around it as well. And with that said, let's jump into some Twits Light.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
How do you get that idea?
I just try to think creatively.
Here we go.
Boop, boop, boop.
Number 1. Please drop your best attempt at a one-liner when Hastings first walks in the door. What are you going to stumble out your mouth?
So it's funny because when I came up with my weird for pickup lines, I actually wrote a pickup line that would rival what he said. So I was already thinking on the same wavelength as Emily. So mine is, hey Hastings, do you like raisins? Because you about to be raising our baby.
Oh my God, stop. See, that's the thing. I don't know if that would work in like Spanish, you know? I don't know if the translation would be similar. So
It works in every language, Emily, let me tell you.
Oh, shut up, Ben. All right, Dylan, what are you stumbling out of your mouth?
Hey, Hastings, have you ever heard of the French tickler? Why, yes. How about the Argentinian tickler? Because they're in Argentina.
Oh, okay, got it.
Is this something to do with facial hair? Because you brushed your mustache?
Yes.
Okay. I love it.
I like to imagine the pickup line actually includes because we're in Argentina.
That's about how smooth I am.
Yeah.
Let me go get Crystal and tell her how I swept her off her feet.
Number 2, just like Pablo, you both love going to the bar and hang out with your usual drunk hangout crew.
Yeah.
It's the local little pub. But sometimes those arguments get heated. What are you arguing about? Fascism? Or something else.
It's going to be something else. Let me be
I hope
on the
so.
record there. I mean, I've been kind of wrapped up in this whole wheels versus doors debate.
No, you have not.
And then Wesley came at me with this one the last time I was over there, which is, which are there more of, eyes or legs on the planet?
Oh. And you're a biology teacher. That's a problem.
So I concluded it has to be legs.
It has to be legs, right?
Yeah. All tables have legs, but all needles have eyes. I go around in circles. It's not good. But that's a pub argument if there ever was one.
Potatoes also have eyes.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but like centipedes have 100 legs to 2 eyes. And then Wesley was like, yeah, but fish don't have legs. And then I got lost again.
This is the argument that would get the police down at the pub to separate the two of you.
It'd probably be over something unbelievably stupid and nerdy.
So not legs or eyes?
Nope. No, it would be
more like the quality of Escape from New York.
Fuck off. It would be more like who was the best doctor, excluding the current, the new generation of doctors. Who was the best one, or perhaps who was the best.
End of argument. Dr. Quinn, medicine woman.
Fuck you. Or who was the best Star Trek captain? Stupid shit like that. I know I'd get into a fight about that.
Captain Phillips.
Wrestling, or some stupid wrestling.
All right, number 3. Who, real, imaginary, famous, whoever, who are you imprisoning in your shed for life, and what did they do to deserve it?
Rest in peace, but it would have been Dick Clark for me. Host of a Rockin' New Year's Eve and America's Funniest Bloopers. Every time they'd cut back from a blooper and he was doing his fake laughter, it just made me irate, and he should be imprisoned for life for that.
So to save all of humanity from his fake laughter,
yeah,
you would keep him in your shed for life. Would you talk to him?
No. And he would still laugh at me. He would still laugh at me because he knows that's why he's in there. He would antagonize me.
I'm going to keep that Rockin' New Year's Eve train a-rolling. Ryan Seacrest.
Yep,
Seacrest out. And I would make him talk. I would make him talk. I would have him say, instead of Seacrest out, every time I gave him his meal, I'd have him go, now you say Lidgard out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty mean, Dylan.
I just think Ryan Seacrest, he's just one of those people that does way too much. And it's like, dude, you cannot be everywhere that you are. So you must be locked up.
You need to be out.
Yeah.
Now let's all agree to never be creative again.
I thought for sure, if Wesley was here, he'd probably have Nick Frost as a zombie in his shed.
Yeah, or me as a zombie.
But he's undead.
That's true. Yeah?
He'd never die.
Exactly.
I'm going with the purpose of I'm watching Ryan Seacrest die.
Oh, that's dark.
That's really dark. Ben, let's play a game.
Shall we play a game?
I despise guessing games.
This great game. Makes you think and it helps your memory.
Let the games begin.
So this week's game is called The Eyes Have It.
Secrets.
No, not secrets. I couldn't come up with a secrets game.
Secret eyes.
I'm going to give you clues to movies that have a scene or shot where eyes are used to make you squirm. And you have to tell me what movie it is that I'm talking about.
Are we both playing?
You're both playing, but Emily, if you get one, you win.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this a race between the two of us?
Yeah, so there's 3 clues for each, and I'm going to start with 1 clue, and then if you want to buzz in, just say your name.
Got it.
And we're going to start with the first one. 1971.
Shit.
Malcolm McDowell.
Dylan. Clockwork Orange.
Correct.
Is that the actual name of the movie?
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, it's a Clockwork Orange, yeah.
Come on, Dylan.
The scene with the eyes open as you're forced to watch TV for a long time. Second one, 2002. Eye transplant.
Emily?
Go ahead.
This is wrong. Requiem for a Dream.
It's not Requiem for a Dream, no.
I don't know.
Good guess, though. Last
No,
clue.
it's not.
Tom Cruise.
Dylan,
Oh,
we going with a Minority Report?
That's correct. It is Minority Report.
I was definitely going to go Mission Impossible. Haven't seen either of those.
Either that or that horrible Jessica Alba movie where she got her, like, corneas replaced from a dead
The
person.
Eye. Isn't it called The Eye?
I think so.
Gross.
That is not on this list, just so you know.
Oh,
Thank
God.
goodness.
Next one, 1997. Clawed out his eyes. Sam Neill.
Dylan, Event Horizon.
Correct.
I'm glad
You only
that I didn't
got to
guess.
get one, Emily. You only got to get one.
Super creepy movie. Super creepy.
I haven't seen any of these movies so far, so yes!
You'll have seen maybe one of them.
Fuck me.
I know for sure you've seen one of them. 2011. Franchise film. LASIK Gone Wrong.
Final Destination 5?
Correct. You got it. Yep, good pull.
Didn't even know Final Destination is a thing. What is that?
That's the one where death is trying to kill them?
Yeah, death chases people.
Yeah, after they beat death.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of fun. It's a fun series, yeah. Next one, 2004. Stepped on an eyeball.
Emily?
Go ahead.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl?
Oh, that's such a good
Not
guess.
Curse of the Black, yeah, Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, that's 2003.
Damn it!
Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Kill Bill Volume 2?
Correct. Next one, 1984. Eyeball Soup.
What?
Harrison Ford.
Dylan, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
That's correct.
Oh, I would not have known that.
Monkey's brains.
Next one, 1988. Scary eye animation. Christopher Lloyd.
Dylan, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That's correct.
Oh, shit. I have seen that movie.
Is that the one?
Weird eye animation because of Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah, Judge Doom has that scene where his eyes are like spinning and they're like animated looking.
Yeah. That he's really a
Yeah.
toon.
When it shows he's a toon, yeah.
Spoilers.
I didn't think it was that weird, but maybe it's because
It's
I grew up
scary.
on it.
It's scary.
Next one, 2006. Mitch McConnell looking motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, I got it, Emily.
Emily, go ahead.
No, Pan's Labyrinth.
Yes, Pan's Labyrinth. Emily wins.
Why didn't you hear the year of the movie, Dylan? Come on.
Oh, shit.
The pale man looks like Mitch McConnell, by the way.
Yeah, he does, actually, yeah.
Next one, 1990. Bulging Eyes. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dylan,
Go ahead.
Total Recall.
It is Total Recall.
Oh shit, I have seen that.
That's a great movie.
I really liked it. I don't remember that part, but I remember liking it a lot.
And last one, 1999. Searching for a Lost Eye. In a football movie.
What year?
1999. 3, 2, 1. That is Any Given Sunday.
Oh, son of a bee sting.
Never heard of it.
Good job, Emily.
Woo!
You won.
I got
You
one
won.
right.
You beat Dylan 1-8. Way to go.
I love that you picked movies. Most of them I had never seen before. It was great. It was a good time.
I picked movies that you could have seen before. Like
well,
Indiana Jones
obviously,
and the
I
Temple.
could have seen any of those movies.
I'm just saying, of movies that you like to watch, I picked mostly sci-fi movies or kung fu movies or action adventures, like ones that you would have seen.
Which ones were kung fu?
Kill Bill Volume 2.
Oh, you knew I haven't seen Kill Bill.
Just saying, I picked ones that you could have seen.
I know. Again, I could have seen any movie.
The only one I knew for sure you hadn't seen is Final Destination 5 and Any Given Sunday. The other ones you could have seen if I didn't know you hadn't seen them, you know? Thank you, everybody, for listening to us this week. We do appreciate your continued support and listenership. Please like, rate, subscribe, share us with a friend or two. And you can follow us on social media at IDYP_podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or you can email us at idrinkyourpodcast@gmail.com. Still waiting on that first email. A little over 2 years in. But next week, we will be watching the Best Picture nominated Winter's Bone. And no, I'm trying to weigh if I just want to leave Emily with Winter's Bone.
You know I'm going to go sex with that one.
No, that's why I kind of want to hear it. But no, I'm going to give you what it's actually about. Emily, this is a coming-of-age mystery drama.
Yeah, that's totally about boning.
That's set in the Ozarks.
Coming.
Oh, okay.
So coming-of-age mystery drama set in the Ozarks.
Yeah, people fuck when they're coming of age.
People fuck in the Ozarks. Usually their cousin.
Yep.
Oh, boy. All right, before we go, Dylan, in your best, I haven't spoken to anyone in 25 years voice, please end our episode by saying, I drink your podcast, I drink it up.
Oh, the breathing.
I drink your podcast. I drink it all up.
I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't
I
like
need
it,
to
I don't
shower.
like it.
Please
I don't like
talk
it.
to me. Please talk to me.
We're so sorry, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Talk to me.